So have you ever done any, like DJ, like proper DJ, like in a pub or a club? Because I know Karl had his own, I had my own disco when I was a kid.
Yeah, not proper. I had a gig once when I had to, it was 2 nights a week in the local pub. Just the 2 decks that was in a suitcase, you know, those sort of like all-in-one thing. And they just wanted the same records. They wanted, Rod Stewart, Baby Jane. They wanted, about 11:15 when they were all drunk, they wanted, Don McLean's American Pie, which they all sang along to.
Yeah.
Uptown Girl they liked.
Right.
But yeah, I didn't used to do the talking
Did you do the patter?
No, I couldn't. I just
don't
understand it. I just love those wedding sort of DJs that they have to give you extra information. They can't just play a song. They have to say things like, "Ooh, all the way back there in the Commodore's easy." It's sort of like they have to tell you something. Who's listening? They just go and play the next record.
It's a wedding,
yeah.
It's like, there's like the controller of a local radio station listening. It just happens to be at the wedding, thinking, hang on.
Hold on, he's played a record, but he's got extra information. Well, they should do useful things at a wedding. Like, will the overweight aunt in the purple dress please now take the floor with little unfortunate kid and let him hop around?
As the dance floor is currently empty, will any 8-year-old boys wearing those tiny tuxedos please slide across the dance floor on their knees? Until they are taken home and put to bed early.
I went to one once. And, the bloke who'd hired it went to the DJ, and this DJ that had come with this sort of party wanted a 70s disco, and he looked like Woody Allen, right? And I was sure he used to be a gentleman's outfitters, like, and he said, "Oh, I wanted a 70s disco," and he went, "Well, I've got Bicycle Race by Queen lined up, I've got ELO, and I've got Cliff We Don't Talk Anymore, so," and he went, "Well, I went sort of more disco," he went, "I don't really want to blow all my Earth, Wind and Fire before 10. But it's like, all planned.
There is a rule, there are rules. Will the 17-year-old girl, who's dressed like Avril Lavigne, please tut loudly, because I still haven't played anything by Linkin Park?
Will the 45-year-old woman, recently divorced, please cry now?
Yeah,
please cry now.
Please cry now, because it's clear you're never going to find another man. Because you used to be a DJ, didn't you? Because there is a sort of rule, definitely. I remember there was like, you know, what I learned was that there are certain tunes you just do not play early on. Oh, What a Night, for instance.
Dun, 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 yeah.
People, you never play that before like 11. You want that last hour before they've got to go home to be non-stop dancing.
When would you pop on Dancing Queen?
Interesting, thanks for that. Is there a buffet being served?
Yes.
Yeah, well, definitely post-buffet. I remember there was great days, I was reminded this recently, by, ITV's Reborn in the USA. There was a great time where you could come out of the buffet, or any kind of speech, with a bit of Gina G. Who, I remember there was a great period for a couple of years where that was always a barnstormer.
Sure.
Sadly, no longer the case. What about, I mean, because the danger is, of course, you go back to the 70s, maybe you got Dancing Queen, but how many do you play before you come into the 80s with perhaps Billie Jean?
Or Soft Cell.
Soft Cell's always a classic, yeah. I'd love to hear that. And, because there's always controversy now, as to whether Love Shack is overplayed. I know that's a big discussion now.
I've never liked it. No, I just like, will any 35-year-old men please now dance ironically to Bombastic, in the vain hope that someone will actually find them attractive.
What did
Love Shack, oh no, never liked
Common
it.
Eileen?
I never, yeah, alright, I just never liked any records that with a hint of novelty about them.
They are popular, they're floor fillers.
I hate them.
You haven't done DJ now, have you?
Exactly.
What do you mean?
Singing on the other side of your face.
Have you?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
Not
you didn't play
popular.
Dexter's Midnight Runners?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't plan it out that much when I did it. It was like, I knew I had the tights and cigars to give away.
Yeah.
Which he
at the
stole
raffle.
from his parents' bedroom beforehand.
Yeah.
Why were you giving away stuff at a disco anyway? Why aren't you just playing records?
Because people liked it, didn't they? If it wasn't...
It hasn't changed. We're doing this. We talk rubbish, we play records, and we give away crap that we found.
Yeah.
It hasn't changed, has it?
And, so I had some good times. I mean, for people who haven't been listening all the time, it was called Pilkys Making Music.
Yeah,
Colin
Colin
It
Making.
was like Pilkington, and my mate was called something Making, and the music is what we played, right? And they had some cards made, had some nice blue glossy cards made, but they were quite expensive.
Yeah.
So I used to hand them out, and then they'd say cheers for that, and say, no, write it down, write the number down, I want that back.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Because they were quite pricey.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Classy
done.
businessman there.
I think Richard Branson used to do that.
I think so, yeah.
Saved a bit of money, because my dad made some lights for me. He just like...
He said he made them, he found them in a telephone box.
The-
People were making phone calls in the dark.
Yeah.
Round the neighbourhood.
Exactly.
It was just white bulbs in like a box, and like my mate making, he used to just flick them on and off. at the thing, and then they'd be in time with the music and that. And
perfect.
Well, you had to sit there and flip
I
the
love
lights
that.
on
I
and
love
off.
that. We got our sound to light system. What's his name? Colin.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Right, so
Did you ever
they'd be
rent
like-
him out?
Right, well, we never had any disasters, right? But my mate did one, right? And I don't know if it's that funny, really, but it.
Go
Well,
on.
I'll tell you anyway, right? He was doing this gig, and it was probably one of the biggest gigs, right, that he ever had. Must have been a couple of hundred people there, and in like a big sort of warehouse thing. Anyway, for some reason, there was some problem with a big speaker that fell, right? So the police turn up and stuff.
Right.
And they try to control the night, and they're going, can everyone sit down? We try to control it. Can you sit down? So anyway, you get a few like little groups of people sitting down on the floor, and people were still stood up, and the police were saying, look, you know, we're going to cancel this whole night if you don't all sit down, and more people are sort of sitting down. It's going on for about 20-odd minutes, right? Will you please sit down? And it gets to this point when there's just one lad stood up in the middle. And he's going, look, you're ruining it for everyone. Will you sit down? And it goes quiet for a bit, and someone's muttering something. And he goes, the lad standing up has got calipers on his legs. Can we have a round of applause for the kid?
Who said that?
It was this lad who was doing the DJ. He was the DJ. So, like, they kept the police and everything were saying, well, you sit down, you're ruining it for everyone else.
Dear. You know, the quick way to sort that out would have been to play
Play
upside your
James.
head.
Yeah,
Or sit down. Yeah.
But most of mine were, I had good nights.
Yeah.
Always got rebooked and stuff, and...
I had a
went down
bunch
the
of
storm.
Venture Scouts went mental once, had a food fight.
What
They just went
were you
crazy.
playing to Venture Scouts for?
Well, we got booked by everyone, Rick. I mean, we started with weddings and local, you know, things, but we soon went up. I mean, at one point we played a massive gig in a big tent in the middle of nowhere for some scouts, and they absolutely loved us. Rage Against the Machine. Oh, they couldn't believe their luck.